actually
It's difficult. It's difficult. It's a really neat camera. Yes.
Yeah. That one.
I don't know where you're staying tonight and
Most family still I think it's in the shed.
so if you want you can see the banks with sand out here.
Yes.
So early in spring, this is not like all covered with water. It's more like several rivers going through the. So it's a river plain. Yeah. So now the water level has increased. And what's happening every year? They calculated that the glacier is supplying this lake with 11 tons of small stones and material. So slowly, the lake is filled up with the material, and in maybe 500 years, who knows? That's like not accurate. It will all be covered with small stones and particles.
Okay.
So it will no longer be a lake; it will be a river plain.
And
In the
also
end.
the
Let's
level.
Okay, in the center, if it's
Yeah. So here, like, of course, the position is like this, and
Yeah,
here, like,
yeah.
small houses.
It's also when it's raining, that's what there are avalanches of rock over roads and also close to houses, some places. But there is a very strong regulation also now that where you live and where houses and schools and things are placed, it's supposed to be safe. So
Yes.
exactly where they have placed it, they have been examining
Okay.
and securing and doing the. And they try to do it also along the roads, but as you know, there are so many small roads, and
Yeah.
so it's like it's a never-ending work.
Yeah, also like big
Okay.
trees. And
Yeah,
walls.
yeah. And that's kind of also like a challenge with the climate change, with the increasing global temperature. I know, like what we learn is that places like Bangladesh. And you look at the stone lying there, or there is a slight difference.
Difference, yeah.
Yeah, you
Yes.
see that?
Yeah, it's like sharper and
Yes.
not smooth like
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's a really good indication on the origin of the stones. Because this stone here has not been bulldozed over by the glacier. So when the glacier is sliding slowly, all rocks underneath are like rolled around, cracked against each other, and that's making the edges a little bit more round, like this. So they are rounded. So this rock here has been like tossed around by the glacier.
It was tortured.
Yeah, it was tortured, exactly. But this has not been processed like that. It has sharp edges, so it has been coming from above here.
Okay.
What happens is that when water runs, it always finds like the easiest way. So if it's a thin track in the mountain, it could perfectly well sneak into there. If it's cold again, it's freezing. And you know water freezing,
Yes.
it's expanding. And it's expanding with like great force. So it's possible for water to crack loose some of those big rocks.
Okay.
So this one has been, I don't really find the exact point, but it has been coming from above. Together with that one. It also has the sharp edges. And you see the one in the river plain?
Yes.
Yeah. Those are all rocks coming from above.
So
And this was at one occasion that we know was 20 years ago, year 2000, and that was like in springtime, I think, with melting and raining and freezing, and this like that's a bad weather for Rockfalls. So
when you hurt,
no. So we know by living here, we know that when it's really a lot of rain, it's not nice to go close to the
so by
mountainsides.
that time, do you completely like close this hiking or just be?
We advise people to be careful. We always advise people to stick to the path because this is on the most secure.
Okay.
Secure.
Far,
It's not like you see, it's not 100% secure.
Yeah.
But and also when it's really bad weather, we tell people maybe wait until the next day because then the risk is if it's raining too much, all guided hikes are closed. But in Norway, it's a very strong legislation on that you have the right to roam the outdoors. So it's not very easy to say it's forbidden. No, you can't forbid people to go.
Okay.
So people always have the right, but you would have to know a little bit about the circumstances and the area you are hiking in.
I noticed there is no birds or ducks here, which usually like the more we find more in other lakes or
Yes.
near the river. What can be the reason?
The reason is it's the water from the glacier is quite it's quite poor in nutrients. You understand? Yeah. So it's very rich in minerals, of course, because it's green. So it's full of minerals, but it's still a little poor in nutrients. So there is fish in the lake, not very much, but there is fish. But it's not very rich. It's not a rich environment. There are occasionally birds staying here, but what you see over there, you see there are a lot of rocks. That was a big avalanche coming in the melting season in springtime from all the way on top. And this we know probably took away some of the birds' living places. So then it takes a little time for them to establish here again.
And like, are there that much fish in the river?
Not that much, but there is a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's a potential for birds to stay here, but it's not like the best place. Yeah, like the rest of the valley. By the way, eventually some pieces of the glacier are breaking off, and what could happen is that when ice breaks off, if it's a really big piece, it could block the water, and it could dam the water, and then when it's a lot of water building up. And the dam bursts, you will get a flood wave.
Yeah.
And that happens here, like from time to time. And that's why you will find now we will see like those signs. This exact spot where we are standing is like maybe one of the spots along the whole route where we should not be standing. So we will now move a little further. Because up here, you see in the side,
Yes.
it's quite a lot of loose material.
Okay.
That has all been placed there by the glacier and supported, but now it's free to go with gravity. So here we could have some. Yeah, the poultry. Viewpoint expedition, yes. So if you look a little bit around on the vegetation, you see that we are now moving out of the forest and going into the more barren grounds. And also if you see on the bedrock, here has been a lot of people walking, so it's not representative. But around it's kind of grey. Yeah. And when we get further, it's much more lighter. And that's also things growing on the bedrock.
Y aquí no hay confort.
What is this mark?
If you look now on the
Yes.
bedrock,
Yes.
you see the grey color,
Yes.
and you see on your left side it's not colored grey.
Yes.
Not that much. So where we are standing now is approximately the border to where the glacier was 20 years ago.
Okay.
So it has it's been growing in the late 90s. It was growing from further above and then down to here,
Okay.
but then it's melted back again. So the grey stuff on the bedrock is small lichens, which are growing. They are living organisms like those,
Yes.
just extracting nutrients from the humidity.
Yes.
And they are kind of the first pioneer species to establish after the ice is gone. So I'd say this is the border to where the ice was in 2003. And you see it quite clearly by the more grey color on the bedrock, which is due to several, so there you can see where we are going. From
The view is really beautiful.
yeah.
সাবধানে এসো কোথায় কি আসতে পারো
Yeah. But if you kind of follow the path.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah.
So I have a YouTube channel and Instagram.
Yeah.
So I make video for that.
Yeah, you
Also
should. don't have the power or the authority to close it. And that's also like the Norwegian